Hey everybody, SeKo Starcraft bringing you more games from the Dreamhack tournament that happened fairly recently. We have Acer's MMA versus CM Storm Polt. Terran versus Terran. Two of the very bright Terran versus Terrans. I know that I've also casted a series between Innovation and Tasia. The TVT mirror matchup, I personally think, is one of the most exciting ones. I know everybody's got their own flavor when it comes to the mirror matchups and what is going to be more entertaining. But in this case, we've got MMA and Polt. Polt was like the big deal for months. Just unbeatable. His record was ridiculous. I wish I could remember the stats. It was something like near perfect he had going for a long time. So he was a fairly favored person coming into here. MMA has seen kind of good tournaments and bad tournaments, but both of these guys are kind of in the shadow right now of Innovation and Tasia. Tasia really coming back on the scene, really strong from Team Liquid. And yeah, I think I just really enjoy the level of Terran play that we're seeing right now, and the different kinds of strategies. It was a little unfortunate the general opening that we were getting out of Terran versus Terran was really Banshee, and then you need to get out a Viking and a Raven. That was very standard for a while. But that doesn't discourage people from trying new things like Widowmine drops, or it looks like it's just a little bit of mind games here from MMA, trying to keep his barracks somewhere where it wouldn't be seen. Maybe just make people think that it is going to be a proxy T-Rex. Excuse me. I've also seen some new Terran strategies with lots and lots of hellions. Mech is definitely more viable now, straight up mech. And yeah, I just think that makes it for a very exciting play. Both of these players seem to be going for very similar strategies here. It might be a Reaper on Reaper, but we're going to have the barracks finish up for MMA just a little bit quicker. And he does have and gas. There we go, Reaper. A lot more gas already out for our buddy here down in the bottom, Mr. Polt. So he might be going straight into a factory. There it is. And he is going to go for a scout. Pretty delayed scout, so this Reaper is probably either going to be seen or kill off that SV before I can really tell what's going on. Orbital Command is finished up sooner for MMA. And then this isn't like Polt's build wasn't polished. It was slightly delayed, but it timed up perfectly with him getting out this factory. So you might be going for essentially like the fastest possible Banshees that you can. Didn't see the command center go down, but it's pretty predictable that you're going to be seeing the command center come out next. So that means that this Banshee has an opportunity to do a fair bit of damage, particularly as there isn't any units that shoot up from our Terran player yet. He is going to go into the factory after this. That's going to allow him to get out, the Viking in the air defense that he wants. Comes around the side just in case that ramp was being patrolled. MMA sneaks in there for a second. Sees no tech happening there. But the fact you don't see a command center down or anything like that, I would feel fairly confident that it'll be Banshees that I'm going up against. Ooh. A little bit of extra damage on that. It smells so good in this house right now. We're doing baking. We've got some Christmas parties to go to, and we like rocking the baking. Oh, so it smells so dece. Mega dece. Banshee cloak started really soon. So like I said, this is just about the fastest Banshee play you can get from Polt here. So now it's really up to whether or not we can get out the defense from MMA. This is probably going to go into hellions. Ooh, Widowmines. Widowmines are kind of funky. I mean, obviously if something is cloaked, it's not going to do much good for you. But a Widowmine shot almost one-shots. Oh, man. Nice little juke there by MMA. Pulled all the Marines out of position. You're gonna die. Yeah. So he gets the scout that he needs. He knows what's going on. He still has his Reaper down here. So he knows he's ahead in economy, but he knows he's in a bit of a tough spot. We can see the tech lab going down so he can move into a Raven here a bit sooner. And these Widow Mines should just be able to keep him a little bit safer. I actually have missile turrets on the way as well. So putting down a missile turret, sorry, a Widow Mine here, a missile turret, means essentially you'll be able to see it, hit it with one shot or two, and it will essentially take out that Banshee really quick. You obviously don't want to be using cloak. Oh, that's so close. You don't want to be using cloak before you have to. Missile turrets do a lot of damage. He can shoot at that reactor all he wants, and he might be able to take it down, but it's not really that important. Got just slightly into range there. Guess he doesn't really want to lose that thing at all. Oh, Raven's so close to coming out too. Oh man, it actually got a lot more kills than I think was worth it for that reactor. That Raven came out just a little bit too late. I don't think... I mean, reactors take a long time to build, sure. But switch it with your barracks that's almost finished at this point. He lost 6 or 7 SCVs. Nice hit. Quickly, cloak! That was kind of cute. He lost a lot of SCVs when he didn't really need to, and that's actually going to give Polt a bit of an advantage in some ways. You can see the worker count now is much closer than it should be, considering this command center has been down a long time. So lots of Marines. There's a tank out. The Widow Mine is still in position, but this could be a little hashtag dicey, depending on what happens here. He knows that there was a Widow Mine out here. The cloak is not finished yet for MMA. There's almost nothing inside of this bunker. He will drive it back though. This Banshee is on the way across. There's nothing in defense back here for the Terran player in the bottom right. Cloak is now finished. Units wise, we can see that there's a slight lead for Polt. His command center is down. So we'll see if this Banshee can really pull MMA back into this. And he should be able to grab a few before this missile turret finishes up. Kind of surprised he didn't go straight into that mineral line faster. Their missile turret over here is not finished yet. We can see that the SCVs are being preemptively pulled over to one side. He got himself 7 kills. I mean, I think 1 or 2 of those were... That Banshee just dies. Banshees are just so effective in the Terran versus Terran matchup, just to give you that vision, to give you that extra little bit of damage. Putting a little bit of damage on tanks might seem worthwhile, but when the cloak's close to running out, and those tanks can be repaired, a little bit of bad control there out of MMA. I think that was a pretty slow pullback. And unfortunately, as I said, keeping those Banshees alive is really, really useful. Particularly when breaking any kind of like siege lines that tanks have. So good. They cut through tanks so fast. We don't have another command center on the way for either player as of yet. Units wise, we can see there's a bit of a lead for MMA. Polt's not that far behind. I would be very happy to see one of them start thinking about that next stage of economy though. Saving up a couple extra bucks for another command center. We see that that is what Polt is going to do. Banshee just out here patrolling to see what's going on. We do have the start of the air dominance happening for MMA, which I think is very, very critical in this kind of matchup, particularly with the Banshee tech out. You can control that air space. You could get out, you know, a bit more Banshees to be able to take out tanks. You're just going to be in a really fantastic spot. And a lot of Vikings mixed in with some Banshees will cut through a lot of ground armies. I don't think Combat Shields is finished yet, Alan. It's just about to wrap up from Polt. Not necessarily a great spot for Polt here. He's going to get pretty cleaned up from the looks of it. He's losing a lot of these hellions in the process. I was about to say, where are the Vikings in a... mean, they do manage to clean that up. So MMA's got a pretty big supply lead. Economy-wise, though, Polt is in a bit better of a spot. The difficulty that he is going to face is that he doesn't have the air control. He doesn't have superior tank count, I don't believe. No, I don't think he's got any tanks out right now. He's actually losing some medevacs there, and he can't really afford to do that. There's enough in place for at least, yeah, 2-point defense drones. Oh, yeah. Get smoked. That was getting smoked, and all the Marines were lined up. This is, I thought it would be pretty cute if they're getting into making missile turrets down here. Now, Polt's going to do everything he can, but yeah, that was... Even though MMA, I think, slipped up a bit in that game, not quite outstanding polish, just rolled that attack that that Polt came in with. Didn't have that air control, sieged up too late, and his bio army just got cut to shreds. So, great game out of MMA. Game 1 in this best of 3 series. We'll go to the Acer Terran, and we will talk with you guys in a moment.